Hey guys, Coach Brandon Krause here. Got a cool exercise for you today. Using the ball, using some ballistic training to help you increase your speed and your power. What is ballistic training? Well, that's like some sort of projectile, right? So there's a number of different ways to work, like medicine balls and slam balls and throwing objects to your benefit. So we're just going to go over one today. What we're going to do is we're going to mimic the technique of throwing the rear straight punch. You know, I'm right-handed, so my straight right hand. We're also going to switch stances for the sake of combating imbalance. I'll get over that in a little bit, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the technique of throwing the straight right hand, stepping in, keeping your chin down, returning back to your stance, throwing it nice and straight, and we're going to add a little bit of resistance. How are we going to do that? We're going to take the ball, we're going to hold it in my hands, and just like I demonstrated with that right hand as I was shadow boxing, I'm going to as closely and accurately follow that technique as I throw the ball, releasing it into the wall, and as hard as I can also. So I have a projectile, I have something that's a little bit heavy. This is 8 pounds. What I'm doing is I'm taking this existing technique and I'm adding resistance to it. And this is always a great way to improve and strengthen that technique in terms of your neural connection to it, you know, fiber activation, fiber recruitment, things like that, right? And reinforcing the positive technique. What you don't want to do, though, is reinforce negative techniques. So you don't want to just throw this thing like it's a baseball or completely forget that you're trying to practice your boxing and not bring your hands back up when you're done. Something like just throwing it out there. And yeah, you'll get pretty good at that rotational motion of your hips, but you won't be reinforcing that positive technique the way I would be if I was in my boxing stance, chin down, hands up, stepping in, returning back to that stance. So what I like to tell people in the gym is before, during, and after, that's how I want you to be practicing with these techniques, meaning this. The before portion, you're in your stance, your hands are up, your chin is down, you're chattering. The during is obviously throwing the shot. And then the after is returning back into that stance, which is so important. You don't want to get in the habit of dragging your hands back and then just thinking that your punch is the end of it, because it's not. You know, you're going to continue boxing with this person. So, depending on who you were and where you're at in your training would kind of dictate the volume you would be doing for this. Pretty regularly at the gym, I'll have people do like a round or two worth of these, as many as they can get in that. And not for the sake of endurance. So it wouldn't be like something like, and then running back up to it and coming back and doing it again. It would be for the sake of, like I said, reinforcing that positive technique so you can slow it down, you can have less volume, be here, throw it, make sure you did everything you want to do, and you can casually walk up to it, pick it up again, because we're not trying to improve our endurance here. Coming out, twisting that back foot, taking your time, walking up to it. And then, like I said, you want to combat any type of imbalance physiologically. So if you were there in your training also, every once in a while, I want you to switch into that southpaw stance and do the exact same thing, just so you don't get a little too heavy on one side or the other. So it'll be the same thing from the southpaw stance. Coming back in that stance. Taking my time, coming up, making sure before, during, and after are covered. Hands up, chin down, elbows in. Stepping. Coming back to that stance, all right? So one good way to help you improve that rear straight shot, fiber recruitment, muscle activation, balance, peace, love, and harmony, all right? That's a good one for you guys, and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.